Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. Okay, so I just filmed the last video, which was like the update video. I've been gone since February and all this stuff, and oh my gosh, I felt awkward starting that video. It had just been so long, and now I feel totally back to normal. So today, which is still the day that I just filmed that video, it's the same day, I am going to do a Q&A. So I just asked over on Instagram if you guys have questions that you want me to answer in this video. It's been a while, let's do this. The first question is one that I got a ton. I do not know why this is so often something asked to people who just had a baby, but the question is, do you want more babies? Are you gonna have more children? Do you have plans for more children? Have you decided if you want another kid? Right now, with a 4-year-old and a 5-month-old, I am not there. However, having this baby made me realize how much I love having a baby and growing my family and giving James a sibling. And yes, I would love another baby. I had so much trouble getting pregnant with this baby. I don't want to think about everything that's going to go into having another baby again right now because it was really hard. As you guys know, if you followed my journey, it's just not something that I want to think about. I am in a different place in my life right now mentally. I am extremely happy and content with where I am right now, and I don't want to get ahead of myself with that. So it's not something that is on our radar right now, but it is something when I look at my life in the future, when I look at myself 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, do I see more than 2 kids? I think Alex and I both say yes, but that being said, it's not going to be anytime soon because we are just loving the chapter that we're in right now. Another question that I've gotten over and over and over again is about breastfeeding. How is breastfeeding going? Are you able to exclusively breastfeed this time? If you followed my journey with my first child, I was unable to successfully breastfeed with him. I did pump for 8 months. I have a whole video on it. I had a lot of Instagram stories about it at the time. It was very traumatic for me, and it was a whole thing. And this time I am happy to say it has been super smooth sailing from the beginning. He has been 100% exclusively breastfed. And that is something that I really wanted to do just because I struggled so much with it with my first kid. And it's something that I wanted to experience for myself, but it wasn't something that I had to do in order to feel fulfilled as a mother or feel like I was doing the right thing. Obviously, fed is best. James got formula. We did not have that breastfeeding experience despite how much I tried, but this new one, I call him Baby Hover. I explained in the last video why. His name is Scott, but I'm going to refer to him as Hover because that's just what we call him. It's a nickname. Anyway, Hover is a very, very good feeder. The nurses said he was a very instinctual feeder. He latched right away and he just understood the assignment from the get-go, and we have had a really, really nice breastfeeding relationship, and honestly, it's incredible. I do wish that I could have experienced that with James, but it just wasn't in the cards for us. And if you are someone who has tried with a child and it just hasn't worked and you're maybe pregnant again or you're wanting another kid, it can work the second time. I am proof of that. And it's wonderful. Oh, this is a good question. What is the hardest thing that you've ever overcome? I don't think I've ever been asked that question in a Q&A. So 2 things popped to the top of my head right from the start. The first one is when I broke my back. I think it was in 2013. I fell 30 feet. I was vlogging a video while it happened. So I have a lot of content. I have a whole story time on it and everything. You can look back in my channel, just search for broken back. I shattered a vertebrae. I compressed my spine 0.5 centimeter. I was on bed rest for 6 months. It was horrible. Kind of derailed my life and could have derailed my life a lot more than it even did. It's hard to say that I overcame that because I think in some ways I haven't overcome it. I think that I'm majority of the way there, but my body has never been as strong as it was before that. I think that probably would be the case with most people, but I have had chronic pain and I have never really gotten into cardio and fitness the way I was leading up to that accident. That is a goal that I have now that I've had my second baby and I'm starting to feel back to myself. I'm 5 months postpartum right now. The second one would be my infertility journey with baby number 2. We had several miscarriages. It's all documented on here. I have a lot of videos about it. It was horrible. It was a couple of years of absolute living hell. And it ended in truly overcoming that experience with the most wonderful baby I could have ever asked for. I wish I could go back in time and hug that girl that was going through all of that stuff. That was definitely the harder of the two. And I do feel like I overcame it because I had a baby. Whereas the other one I'm still working on. It's been, what, 7 years? No, it's been 9 years. Can I do math? And I still have never gotten my body back to how it was before breaking my back. This is one that I've gotten a lot. Was it harder to go from 0 to 1 kids or 1 to 2 kids? And for me, it was absolutely hands down harder to go from 0 to 1 than it was to go from 1 to 2. For me personally, because I work from home and I've always had my own schedule and I've always had these really weird sleep schedules. You guys know if you were following me back then, I always had chronic insomnia. I would stay up all night working and then I would sleep in late, and it was just this whole thing. My life was not in a place where I was going to be able to be a mom and keep my life and my scheduling the way it was. And I think that was the hardest part about having my first baby, is my entire existence and the way I lived my life had to change a lot. And that was really hard. By the time I had my second kid, I was already well established in that new way of how my life looked, you know, getting up early and taking care of a kid, never having time that was just completely yours to yourself for days on end the way I used to. And so going from 0 to 1, my whole life changed, but going from 1 to 2, it only changed a little bit. And in my opinion, in all positive ways, our families and our home and our heart have just grown, and James loves being a big brother. Baby Scott is an easy baby. He's easier than James was even, and I even thought James was an easy baby at the time. So yeah, hands down, 0 to 1 was harder for me. Someone asked if I could share what I did to have a successful fertility journey. I think pure luck by the end of it, because obviously we had many losses and I tried many things, many supplements, all the things they say to do. We ended up conceiving during an IVF failed cycle that then turned to IUI, and then that's the cycle I conceived baby Scott on. So it wasn't something that I did worked. We had to go the fertility clinic route, and I do have videos on all of that stuff. If you want to watch fertility journey videos, go back on my channel, and there's many videos chronicling that whole time in my life. But I can't say it was anything that I did that ended up working out in the end. It was just keeping trying even after several losses. This one says, are you enjoying making TikToks? Yes, I am enjoying making TikToks. I just think that the short form, like 1 minute, get the video up, is something that's just more doable for me right now. But having said that, I'm not going to be not doing YouTube videos. I just think you'll be able to see more content over there. So if you're not following me on Instagram or TikTok, I highly recommend following me either place or both if you feel like it. I will link them below. This one says, do you see yourself ever completely leaving YouTube? No, I don't. And obviously one day maybe. I mean, YouTube might not be a platform forever, you know, and I have been doing YouTube videos for 14 years. It would feel so strange to me if YouTube just like wasn't a platform one day. But I feel like people who were really into my space said the same thing. You know what I mean? Do I see myself voluntarily just deciding not to post YouTube videos anymore? No. At this point, I've been with you guys for 14 years. Most of you that are still following me are people who have followed me for a very long time. I'm not really getting as many new people, and that makes sense because I am very sporadic on here. I tend to do videos that are more targeted and aimed for people who have followed me for a long time too, you know, like life updates and things that people who are new, who haven't been watching my videos for a decade, probably don't care about. So that's part of it, but I don't see myself just like not doing videos anymore. If I was going to have walked away from the platform, I think it would have been after my wedding when I did my whole hiatus. The fact that I came back and I'm like still doing videos, I feel like I just am always going to do them for as long as there are people that are watching. I have no plans to walk away from it. I think this will be the last one for this video, and I will screenshot some and save them for my next Q&A because there are a lot of good ones. But this one says, are there any new good books you can recommend? And yes, I have 2 series to recommend you guys that have been my life for the last couple weeks. I've read so much. So the first one is the Plated Prisoner series. The first one, I think it's called Guild. and it is fantasy romance. It is so good, super unique compared to a lot of the other fantasy romance series that are out there. It is a 5-book series with 4 books currently out. I read them, binged them. I'm so upset the 5th one isn't out yet. I would love to have just read it like right away. I was so sad when I finished the 4th book, but it's so good. Highly recommend. And when I finished that series, I was so sad that I actually Googled series like Plated Prisoner, and I found this Reddit thread of this person who literally, I could have written the post, I didn't though, but it was like, I just finished Plated Prisoner and I'm so sad and I want a series like it, and someone recommended the Bridge Kingdom series. And so I downloaded the 1st book of that. I'm almost done with the 1st one. It's a trilogy, and that one is also really good. Totally has my attention. So I am currently reading that one. I recommend it as well, but definitely read Plated Prisoner first if you haven't read it. I really, really enjoyed it. All right, that's gonna be it for this Q&A. Like I said, lots of good questions, so I might do a second Q&A. If you have questions that I didn't get to in this video that you wanna ask, leave them in a comment below and I will go through and pick some questions from the comment section here and over on Instagram and make a part 2 at some point in the next little bit. I'm excited to be back on this platform. Definitely check me out on Instagram and TikTok because I do have several videos that I have scheduled to go up over the next 2 weeks that I've already filmed. So lots of content going on both of those platforms. I will have them linked below. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you guys next time. Oh, I wanted to say one question that I got a ton that I purposely didn't answer in this video, even though it was probably the most asked question because I want to do a whole video on it, is about the baby name and how I changed it at the last minute. That's going to be a story time. I will try to film that soon and have that up for you guys, but that's why I didn't answer it. I saw you guys asking that question over and over again. I will get to it. I will share with you guys the story behind that, but it will have to be a different day because my kiddos are coming home soon and I just want to snuggle them. Okay, bye.